So the other day I went to the cinema, I finally left my house and I watched Nosferatu, the new 2024 adaptation of the original Nosferatu from 1922. This is directed by Robert Eggers and I was expecting a lot. And did it deliver? Yes and no. I was quite surprised by the movie and kind of disturbed, but I'm going to talk about that later in the video. So for now, let's get into it. So, beginning it off, let's talk about the movie itself. What are the highs? What are the lows? What did I think was really good about the movie, and what was just kind of iffy? So, beginning it off, I loved this movie so much. Everything about it was so beautiful. The movie itself is beautifully shot. It's got amazing cinematography. The shots, the sets, everything is perfect. Just looking at this movie, say you've never heard of a Robert Eggers movie before, you go in and this is okay, I've heard of Nosferatu, I want to go watch this. You will be really, really shocked by how cool this movie looks and how amazing, the set design and everything is with the movie. It looks awesome. And I went with three friends. I went with my buddies from college. So shout out to Georgia, Ash, and Dylan. And yeah, I mean, it was a really fun time. The movie itself, as I said, is beautifully shot. The acting in the movie was really a surprise for me. I had kind of lost hope for Bill Skarsgård after the abysmal Crow remake, where he was absolutely terrible. Well, he wasn't terrible. The film was terrible. He was a glimmer of hope in that movie. Sure, he wasn't his best performance, but he was still all right. But I was kind of scared going into this, and my only issue with the whole movie is that he has a mustache. I'm going to go more in depth about some things which I found weird about the movie, which that was just me, myself, because I didn't expect any of it going into it, which I probably should have. But the mustache caught me off guard. I'm just sat there watching this film, and then Nosferatu appears, and he's got this massive mustache. Then the next day in college, I'm chilling, and then this guy walks past, and he's got the same mustache. I'm just it's Bill Skarsgård right there. But no, so as I was saying, that's my only issue with the movie. The design, besides from the mustache, is really, really good. I love it. The voice is so cool. I didn't think it was Bill Skarsgård. I know that's an oversaid thing with this movie, but I didn't think it was Bill Skarsgård. Besides from one shot near the end where him and Lily Rose Depp's character are doing something. And I was like, oh, it's Bill Skarsgård. I mean, I knew, of course, going in it was Bill Skarsgård, but none of the shots really look like him besides from that one because he's more in the light. And I'm not going to go too far into spoilers. I'm going to talk about some spoilers, so, But, I mean, this film was really good, but going into some of the spoilery bits, I did not expect it to be, that sexual. I come out of it, and I was just stunned for about 5 minutes over, everything with the movie, how awesome it was, how cool it was, everything about it. And I was just if there's one thing that I'd probably not want to watch again in that movie, is the ending. Because although it was cool as hell, it was also disgusting. And, I love me a good bit of gore. I will never say no to a good bit of gore, but that was something else. And this is a movie which came out, for people in the US in the same year as something like The Substance, which I loved. But something like this, for some reason, caught me off guard. I don't know why. And the one thing which I was kind of looking forward to, this is just me being, stupid. The one thing which, I knew about the movie is that Bill Skarsgård had a prosthetic penis. And I was okay, I'm going in. I'm going to keep an eye out for the cock. And when it shows up, I don't know. So I'm there, and I'm just okay, when's it going to show up? It showed up when I least expected it, because, I was just sat there, in the zone watching a movie. Then it just appears for 2 seconds. That's it. Then it's gone, and I'm just no, bring it back. I couldn't even see the prosthetic. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about it now. But I knew that it was only in there for 2 seconds going into it because I'd spoken to one of my teachers about it who saw it, and I was you know that prosthetic that in the movie. I know what you're talking about. it's only in there for 2 seconds. I'm like, God damn it, I really want to see that in the movie. And you know, there's so many cool shots in it. Like just going through a few which I loved. A bit where like they're like going near the castle and like it's like this road and then like it starts getting all black. Nicholas Hoult start hallucinating and stuff. It's so cool. Like Nicholas Hoult was so good in this movie. I need him to just be in like vampire movies for the rest of his like life. At least one every few years because he's so good in them. Like Renfield, this. The man's an artist when it comes to vampire movies. He's really good in them. Like, he basically plays the same character as well. He basically just plays Renfield in this, but under a different name because Nosferatu was an unofficial adaptation of like Dracula, so they couldn't use the same names and everything. Another massive standout that I really didn't expect with this movie was Rose Depp. All I'd seen her in previously was The Idol, which was absolutely abysmal, but I can't really blame her for that. That was more The Weeknd and that dude who wrote Euphoria's fault. I don't know his name. Don't really care. But I was pleasantly surprised that she gave like one of the best like acting performances that I've seen this year. The only new movie that I've watched this year because it came out in 2025 here for some reason. Thanks, guys. Love when you release the movies late, so when I get my review out, ain't no one gonna watch it. But yeah, it's just so cool to see like all these actors that I love come together in this movie. Like Willem Dafoe is in this movie. He's awesome in the role that he does. Aaron Taylor-Johnson's in this movie. They got so many big actors in this movie that I didn't even know were in this movie until like I started watching it. Like when Aaron Taylor-Johnson shows up, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Then I'm just told to shut up from like my friend, but like that's besides the point. It's Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Like, sure, he does. He probably gives like the most lackluster performance in it because like his character's not really like the main character. He's one of the main characters for a bit until he goes off and does something with his wife's dead corpse, if you know what I mean. And that's where I was like, oh, that's what that is. Because I'd known that something like that would happen because I read the BBFC description, like when I was like trying to figure out like why it's rated a 15 and not an 18, and I was like, it's a bit odd. But yeah, I mean, like the whole film itself is really cool. They think it's just a plague at first, and when the focus in, it's on a plague. It's Nosferatu, and then like the moment that they say Nosferatu, we all just look at each other. And it's like they said the thing. I mean, they said the thing. They said Nosferatu in this movie, and overall, this movie is just really, really cool. Like it's got. We need more vampire movies. Like vampire movies sort of died off after like the like absolute like disaster that was the Twilight series, but we need good vampire movies back. No more Hotel Transylvania or anything like that. We need like good vampire movies like this. I mean, ultimately, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. It is absolutely perfect, except for the mustache. So I'll give it a 9.9 out of 10 because of the mustache. But 10 out of 10, perfect movie. But yeah, ultimately, that's my thoughts on Nosferatu. What do you guys think about it if you've seen it? If not, I do really recommend checking it out. If it's still in cinemas in the US, I have no idea because it's been like a month. I think it comes to digital soon, whether it's before or after this video comes out. It's either on digital or it's coming to it soon. I heard that it was coming to digital soon. I think it was like the 21st or something like that. So go check out the movie. It'll be on digital at some point. So, watch it legally. Buy the movie because it is absolutely awesome. Or rent it. I don't care. Just watch it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. I do really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. But until next time, bye-bye.